So this is the demo that we give to people as a zip for local by Flywheel. So let's pretend this is working. I put the 2.3 version on here. So assuming it's here, yeah, okay. So we have our new login page and member profile edit page. So let's just go over like, what would you do? What are people gonna do when they like migrate to this? We didn't have theme my login. Okay, so if you weren't using this before and you just upgraded and you're like, wow, they have these pages now. We're going to kind of write this up for people, but the first thing they'll do, obviously they'll update to 2.3, and then we'll say, you know, go to your settings, page settings, and you can generate each of these pages, one for your login page, and then your member profile edit page. So once that's done, if you're using MemberLite, it's going to automatically create that page, put the shortcode on it, and then MemberLite knows to use this as the login page. So your login link for MemberLite is going to be updated automatically. Obviously, the lost password is just a view of that, and that will work. MemberLite's register page is the same. So that's kind of like that quick thing you're just going to update. When members are logged in, I don't have a membership level, but I can edit my profile. So this is the default, you know, edit your profile page. So that kind of just automatically happens for people also. What I wanted, I don't know why we have two of these. Oh, that's the directory profile. Okay. What I wanted to demo, which I can probably do now on the MemberLite demo site, is show what if I was using Theme My Login? What do I have to do if I want to kind of unravel that? We don't have 4.4 MemberLite yet on the demo site. Jason, can you try to pull that or fix the permissions so that I can update the theme?
The permission should be fixed. You can try to update. Okay. A good test.
You probably said that earlier.
That's okay.
It worked. Okay, let's do the same thing here. Let's go to settings, pages, the login page. I'm not going to say generate, because Theme My Login is already on this site and it already has a page, so I'm just going to assign it. The same of the member profile edit page. If we were using the profiles, were we? Maybe we weren't. Account no access. Do you hear the dogs groaning? I don't think we were using member or Theme My Login profiles on this.
No, that might even be an old version of or Theme My Login, because the newer ones don't generate a login page. They make like a fake page. They just make an endpoint login. But if you do have a page called /login, you'll want to choose that. And
just choose it. Okay. So we're going to say we weren't using the profiles. No, we were not. Okay. Right. So we're going to generate this page in our demo. Okay. So now what do we have? We have a page called login, we have a page called lost password, we have a page called logout, and all of those pages don't really have a place anymore.
Should you activate Theme My Login? I would do that first, probably.
You would do that first in the process. Okay, so then the process would be assign the login page if it was created, and if it was not, then you can generate it. So let's deactivate Theme My Login. Those pages will still be there. Where are they? Here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is trash these pages, and then we're going to provide people with a recipe to write 301 redirects if they want to. They don't have to.
Yeah.
But these pages don't apply anymore with a non-Theme My Login site. And then on the login page, you'll have to edit and swap their shortcode for ours if you had one. Whoa, that took a minute. Okay. So our shortcode is PMPro _login. That will not happen just by assigning the page. It won't do that swap for you. I'm not going to change anything else here for now, because it's just kind of stylistic. I am logged in, so if I view this, it's going to show me that welcome screen. If I view it in private, it should show me the login form. Sorry for the dog. Okay. So that's the demo site. We automatically log people into the demo site, so other people viewing this won't, like if you went to this demo site and went to the login yourselves, you wouldn't see this login form. We just have a custom thing for our home IP address that I can still log in and administrate it. But this is like swapped to be using our page. And then the same on the demo. If you're logged in, we assign that profile page. So now it's using our page. If you were using the My Login's profiles extension, you may have had a page created called your profile, and it may have the Theme My Login shortcode here. So that's one other swap you would have to make, is swap the shortcode being used on the profile to this version or the block version that Ronald created. So those are kind of like the biggest updates. One more thing people might have to do when migrating from a prior version of Paid Memberships Pro is just check out their advanced settings messages. We have some new URLs, login URL being the one that you probably want to use instead, because we're not redirecting wplogin.php. As far as I know, that was up back and forth. So what people probably want to do is swap that to use this page. You can leave the action register, because the register link you can leave as it was. Paid Memberships Pro does redirect that, or you can swap it and put in Levels page URL. The new generated sites, this will say join now. We updated that. So this is what a newly generated site would get as their message for logged out users. And then one other nice thing, some people like redirecting to the referrer on login. So if you do want to do that, you would have to do this. If they're clicking a link from a protected piece of content, this would take them to the login URL and then redirect them to the referrer. We don't set that by default right now. Maybe that's a conversation to have, but that is what it is. I'm going to do this as well, because this is what new sites are going to see. I think this says join also. So that would just be like a cleanup thing. On the Paid Memberships Pro site, we're using a filter, so we had to edit it in code. So if you were using filter and you were using WP login URL as the URL in your custom code, I think that we do redirect that, but you could also use a new function called PMPro login URL, which we can document for people. And we'll just be updating any of our content too. So I'm going to save that. That's kind of like the, I hope my site's not broken anymore steps. There are some new settings, which we might have demoed with you guys before. These restricting dashboard and the toolbar. If you were using the hide admin bar from non-admins plugin that also is written by Stranger Studios /Jason, you can deactivate that and now just use this setting. And if you were using the Theme My Login privacy module, that had some other things, not just this dashboard restriction. Wasn't it called privacy?
I thought the profile add-on allowed you to also check which roles.
Okay, to get the admin. Yeah. So
we used the profiles for front-end profiles, but it also had a setting to just keep people out of the dashboard.
Okay.
We also recommend like Andrew's plugin, and there's a few other plugins that are like keep people out of the dashboard.
Okay. So this is just one that's built into Paid Memberships Pro. It's for the subscriber role. I think there's a filter to do it for other roles, which we'll probably have recipes and just for. But on the Paid Memberships Pro site, I checked both these boxes. This does mean that they cannot go to the admin login and edit their profile at the subscriber level. So if someone is using another plugin that adds profile fields that they need people to be able to edit, they won't be able to get, to this view of the profile anymore. That's just something to keep in mind if they're like, well, I don't see the fields on the front end profile for, blah, blah, blah plugin. That plugin has to use our hooks to show their fields on the profile page. This is something else that updated here. Activity email frequency. This is the admin email that goes out kind of recapping what you've done on your site. So I think depending on how active your membership site is whether people are going to select a daily feed of this information. We have that on our site right now, and you can obviously disable it if you don't care. That's a multi-site setting. We don't want to look at that. Pretend that doesn't exist. Cool. Let's show some, do you guys have any questions about the migration from a pre 2.3 to a version 2.3 of Paid Memberships Pro while I'm here? Okay, so I'm just gonna now, I guess, highlight some MemberLite things that are new. We don't do as much support for MemberLite in the Paid Memberships Pro side, but just so we kind of cover them. Let's do customize. Okay. We added Jason's favorite no sidebar layouts. He loves centered blog content. So now you can select your default layout for pages or for kind of your blog area. There's our blog here. Could be a right sidebar, left sidebar, or no sidebar. So I see a lot of blogs like this. I'm sure you guys do. Just that like centered column, a little narrower than everything else, just straight down the middle. Jason's not a fan of this, but I think if you're strictly like just content on your blog and it's maybe a single author blog specifically, I think it's pretty nice. And it's definitely mobile first, but people trying to like kind of recreate that on a desktop version. So if you like that. The new thing too is a sticky menu. So if you're scrolling, then the menu kind of just stays put there. Again, I think that's probably like personal preference. What else is new? Oh, the delimiter for breadcrumbs, didn't you say? Okay, no, I think that was always there. You just made that comment, Jason. That would be nice to move it up. We did update font awesome to 5.13, and they have some very lovely COVID themed icons in their latest version. If you want to talk about the virus and put some viruses on your site. So I'm going to link to that in the release notes for MemberLite 4.4. Hand washing, mask wearing, exciting kind of things. Another thing MemberLite 4.4 did, we had a lot of places where we showed featured images, but I wasn't including the alt attribute if it was set. So it's kind of just, we were doing some SEO testing on our own site, and I was like, why do we have so many images without alt tags? But it was really just theme loaded images weren't pulling up an alt tag. So we did fix that. Oh, here, Meredith is talking to us. What if I just quit Slack? That would probably be the right choice during a call. That's a fix. And then there's a fix to the responsive. I know that banner makes it look really bad, but this used to, the hamburger kind of menu thing used to like butt really close up. So now that's no longer butting up closely to the logo. Trying to think of any other changes. Those were the big ones. Any questions about MemberLite? No? All right.
Is the background thing in core the thing we do for MemberLite Dark? Or that was
We don't. Let me show you that. We do have. There is a color thing that changed.
Like the template, the textures.
Those textures, we didn't move those in yet. I do want to do it. I think it should be done.
Okay.
But we did have this header background color. So if you wanted to, and we're doing this on the Stranger Studio site,
nice.
You can set the background of the header area. I have custom code on this site, so that's not going to work. It might work on.
I used to always do that almost. That's nice.
Make a dark background header. Where's our demo? Here's our demo site. This might work. Or we might just found a bug with the JavaScript to post.
Oh, is it not updating? Or we had a big image?
We'll see.
It.
Yeah. Oh no, it's updating. All right, that's site background color. Header background color. Maybe that's just not posting. Let's see. Oh, it just wasn't. So maybe that's just something we'll look at with customizers, so that the way the customizer experience. I was talking about the avatar. This is that centered blog layout on the Stranger Studio site. There's a filter now for the size of this image. So if you wanted to make like a giant head of yourself, if you were that like single author blog, that would kind of be like a cool use for that. What else didn't I do? Oh, I just realized I didn't demo the widget for Paid Memberships Pro. Why don't I demo that quick? I know we're all over the place. Let's demo We did a Must Love Dog site. Okay. So in this version, we kind of replicated a widget that the My Login had, which would either show a login form or it would show kind of your welcome, you're logged in now content. So this widget is called login, but it is conditional. It does show a logged in view and a, should I make my background header not green so it doesn't look scary? So now you'll see, I don't have the menu assigned yet, but it adds this widget for logged in and not logged in view. Do I have demo here? That's the member link demo. Let me do this one. There's many local sites. So if you're not logged in, yeah, we got to change that header. It'll show a login form. I think the best practice here is to put that at the top of all your sidebars, or at least some of that it will always be. So if it's in the footer widget, it's always there. We put this with MemberLite because I think people expect login to be in the upper right area, but if you're not using MemberLite and you have the ability to put that widget on your site, I would put it at the top of your sidebars. I put it at the bottom here just because I can move it up, and then you'll see. Just gives people a persistent place to know. Which tab are we? Here. This one. We can go into the admin and actually edit it because I'm going to show you the widgets too. Especially because when people are logged in, it's going to show them a menu right there. So they'll always know how to get to their membership account, get to any pages you put on that menu. Does that work? I put it at the top, but it's not. Oh, that's because that is showing that menu there. Sorry. Okay. So you'll be able to create a custom menu to show there, and then it kind of gives people that always know how to navigate through your site. I'm going to create a member menu quick. Create a new menu. I'm going to call it the login form, just because that's where it's going and it kind of is the most clear. So let's add people like a link to view their membership account, a link to view their profile. Profile's misleading here. That's actually their member directory profile in this demo site. Let's start with those. We did add this. So when you're adding menu items, there's a new section called Paid Memberships Pro. So people can see just what are the pages assigned to Paid Memberships Pro. And what's cool is at the bottom, we have a login and a logout one. Some people might have supported that BAW login, logout. There's some other plugins that add conditional menu links. So for our plugin, we just put that in core now. You don't really want to change this. It's filtered by custom code. When you insert it, it just puts the URL as a pound, and you can change the label. Do you want to log out? I don't know. Just keeping it what people expect is probably best. But if people are logged, if you place that in like a primary menu, which we can do for a demo, it's not going to show your logout link if they're not logged in, and vice versa. So now you could add both those links to any menu location, and it's just going to show the one that is appropriate. So here I'm not logged in, so I only see login. And here I am logged in, so I only see logout. And a lot of people want that. They even look at MemberLite. They're like, how do I get something like that? And I'm like, it's just in MemberLite. You can't. But now you can kind of at least leverage that kind of conditional. You can't get like the welcome username thing. We have helped people do that with like a short code version. Why am I not seeing the widget there? It's going to show how that widget menu is showing. Did I tell it not to show for logged in? Display welcome content when logged in. Hello? Oh, this is the blog. That's why. It's not a page. I think I need to go to the About page. Okay, cool. So that menu we created now shows up here.